Bay Bandits at 4 Eastern on Fox. Then Sunday, the New Orleans Breakers and the Houston Gamblers square off under the lights, 8:30 Eastern. That's right here on FS1. USFL football Saturday and Sunday on Fox and FS1. Klay Thompson stepping up for the Warriors, knocking down 5 of 11 three-pointers on his way to 21 in the Warriors' Game 5 victory last night. Shannon, so much talk about Steph, but how valuable has Klay actually been to the Warriors, especially considering Steph's shooting problems last night from deep?
Well, he's extremely valuable. I don't believe either guy would be the player that they became without the other guy. I think they're a perfect combination, Skip, of great shooters, and they're beautiful to watch. They move without the basketball. It's amazing the amount of movement that they do and still able to make the shots with the accuracy in which they make it. Because just imagine, Skip, when you run, how tired and out of breath you are. They run up and down the court, run trying to get open, and they're still able to let that three-point go from anywhere between 22 and 29 feet with ease. So, but I don't believe either guy. And I'm not going to say Steph. I'm sure Steph is a great shooter. But what makes them so deadly is that they're both great shooters and they're on the same team. So you pay one more attention than the other, and the other guy makes you pay. But we've always seen. I think what Klay does is Klay understands, like, yeah, I'm great, but I'm not Steph. And, Skip, you have to have that. The moment you've got two of anything, and one thing he's equal to, if not better than the other, is about to tear apart. And we've seen that over the history of time, Skip, no matter what the sport is.
Yep.
If you got two, and one believe he's equal to the one that says, oh, he's the best, or the media or whomever, it's about to rip apart. Klay is cool. Klay like, hey, I'm Klay, I'm good. I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to win these titles. I'm do what I do. I believe Scottie Pippen, now, the book notwithstanding, the tour to sell the book notwithstanding, I don't believe Scottie ever believed he was comparable to Michael Jordan. And therein lies there was never a problem. And, Skip, our great players have always had great teammates. Kareem had Magic. Magic even, hey, Cat, what you want?
He walked in the door and did that. He just got down on his knees and said, you are the man.
Cap, what you want?
You are the captain.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bird and McHale, Jordan and Pippen, Shaq and Kobe, Kobe and Powell, LeBron, D-Wade, Kyrie, AD.
Kyrie, LeBron.
Yeah, Skip, they've always had, and what happened? Kyrie felt, I'm equal to.
Absolutely, he did.
Boom.
And boom.
Kobe said, hey, big fella, you dominant, but your boy here now. Your boy was a ride.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
And then you see what happened. And so for me, Skip, it's great. We all remember Game 6, Klay, Skip, when they were down 3-1 to go to OKC.
Yep.
But, Skip, people forget that Steph in that game had 31, 10, and 9. I mean, the 11 threes, and because Klay was out of his mind, Steph was just right there. But they go, I don't know if we'll ever see it again. I don't know. Skip, sometimes you see things, you're like, well, damn, and you take it for granted. I've never seen anything like this, and now that I see it, I realize that having played a professional sport, realize how rare some things that you take for granted, but you realize the rareness of it. You're probably not going to see, will there be another guy that can shoot the ball as well as Steph and Klay? Maybe. But will you have two guys on the same team in their prime that can shoot the ball as well as these two guys?
Yep.
Probably not.
No.
But they go together. They belong together. They deserve to finish their career together. Now, Steph is a little older than Klay. I don't know how much longer Steph is going to play, but these guys, some things, Skip, should never be broken up. Some things should never be broken up.
Yep.
The Beatles should have never broken up.
Well, it's just those two, John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and finally they just said, no, we can't do this anymore.
I mean, Simon and Garfunkel, Skip, they should have said, when he made that song.
That was Garfunkel's fault.
See, you a Paul Simon fan. You blaming Art Garfunkel for something. That's not true.
Art Garfunkel sang one song only.
Did he sing it good?
Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Was it good?
It was all time. It was written for him by his partner, and he beautified it.
Yeah.
He nailed it.
See? And what happened?
All-time vocal. And that was the end of that deal. And they're still feuding as we speak.
They are.
Okay, back to the question at hand. I have never, ever in all my career seen anything like this professional relationship between these two that has lasted now for 11 seasons. 11 seasons? You have the two best shooters in the history of basketball on the same team, and they get along famously.
Right.
How is that possible? It's all because of the second guy. I watched him get interviewed last night. I forget, it was on maybe the ABC pregame.
Man, that joke
Every
be pouring.
time.
He be dumping praise on Steph.
Like heaping it. Like he can't heap enough. He heaps respect on it.
He does.
He just honors him to a fault almost with, the other night after game 4, the greatest finals game he's ever played.
Yeah.
We go as he goes.
Right.
Every word out of his mouth is, it's up to him. He's the engine of this team.
Right.
I just go along for the ride. And it comes across as
Genuine, sincere.
Genuine, right?
Yep, it does.
He doesn't seem to be laying it on thick.
Nope.
It's impossibly valuable, not only to the Warriors, but especially to Steph, because I was there in 1998 with Pippen and Jordan. Trust me, behind the scenes, Pippen was starting to make waves. It ended up being there last year. We didn't know that at that point.
Right.
But Pippen, because media people would sort of feed the fire, fuel the fire.
Right.
Aren't you as valuable? Aren't you? Agents fueling the fire. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, you know what?
Right. Wait a second.
I always take the toughest guy to guard.
Yeah.
Mike is not.
Hold on, just a second. And then it's just spun completely out of control here of late, where he's on the war path against Michael, and I can't even believe what he's doing.
Right.
And I think I hear from people in and around the organization who I was with in 1998, and they're just appalled at Scotty's behavior toward Michael now. Okay, well, it happens, and it happened you just listed all of them. It happens way more than not happened, and this one has not happened. Okay, so if you look hard at what's going on here over their careers, Steph is a 43% three-point shooter. Klay's a 42% three-point shooter. Klay can actually get a little hotter.
I believe so, too.
Than Steph can get when he goes, I'm talking about crazy psycho hot, where he just goes off. Klay Thompson once scored 37 points in a quarter. It's impossible to make 9 threes. And you can YouTube it and just look at the pew, 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 right? 37 points in a quarter. Doesn't it seem impossible to do that? But he did that,
14 threes in the game.
Okay, 14, and that's the all-time record to 13 for Steph.
Steph wants that one.
Okay, well, I'm sure he does. But 14, it's a lot. So the truth is, just even statistically, he's right there with him, and yet he's completely content to play second fiddle. And yet, this year, what have we seen? Close out Klay, Game 6 Klay. What did we see? 8 threes against Memphis in the closeout Game 6, and 8 threes against Dallas in the closeout Game 5. It wasn't Steph who did it. It was closeout Klay who did it. And I still, this is just me, and I keep trying to be a Steph fan because I was a huge Steph fan pre-draft at Davidson. But to me, gut feeling, Klay is slightly more clutch than Steph is. Like, to make the shot, the big shot that turns it all. I'm not talking about the salvo in the third quarter, because that's all Steph. But I'm talking about the shot, even in these finals. Wait a second, the guy who made 5 threes last night when Steph was struggling was Klay Thompson. Where would they have been without his 5 threes last night? They'd probably been in trouble.
They were some really big shots,
They were just
too.
some really big shots. So in the end, to me, when you make the case that, wait a second, Steph is on the verge of all-time top 10. Well, my biggest problem is timeout. He's had a co-star along for the ride who's the second best shooter in the history of basketball. Well, doesn't that disqualify the top 10 even a little bit? Because it does to me. I'm sorry, you have to take that into account. And then the other problem I have with Steph, because he's only 6 feet 2 inches tall, the Celtics are still going after him. They're trying to hunt him on defense and take advantage of him. And I thought he stood up to it.
Well, they hadn't been able to do that since Game 3. Game 3, I thought Marcus Smart did a good job of hunting him, making him pay down on the block. But the last 2 games, they haven't been able to make him pay nearly enough. Last night, he was just off. It wasn't because they were going after him. He just was off because he was human. Skip, last night was 3 years to the day in which Klay Thompson tore his ACL. So for him to come back.
Clear threatening. And then he turned right on around and tore his Achilles.
So for him to overcome that, like you said, there's nothing wrong with the stroke. He doesn't have the legs. Now, next year,
maybe
them legs come completely back.
Maybe.
Golden State's not going anywhere.
And don't underestimate, Klay is 6'7" tall to 6'2" for Steph.
Right.
Klay in his day, and to your point and credit, he can't do this anymore. He was a high-level perimeter defender who could take your best scorer and take you out of the game.
Why would you want Steph to be 6'7", 6'8", with the ability to shoot like that? The man averaged 40.
If he were 6'7".
Yeah.
I know. Well, but there were times when I thought Klay was right in that ballpark.
I mean, you want a guy to have everything. You just want God to get a guy everything. You want to be able to handle the ball.
God gave him what he's got.
Yes.
And he does a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna put it into a small package.
He did. but he put Klay's package into 6'7",
right,
who can defend because he cares about defending
right,
and worked hard at it. So I'm just saying that the dynamic duo here, it's a 50-50 proposition because Steph has benefited hugely from Klay Thompson.
I think the biggest difference is I think Klay is a better catch and shoot three guy.
He is.
As Steph is better off the dribble. As Steph is better off the dribble, dance with the ball handle, step back. That's really not Klay's game. Now,
Klay can catch it and take one dribble and let you fly by.
Or he can just catch it and let it go. Steph prefers to dance on you. But they're great together. They belong together. They should probably not going to happen, Skip. But this combination, some combinations should never be broken up.
No,
and this is one of those combinations.
Okay, my other issues with Steph, obviously, after a while, I get a little just worn down by the showboating and the hot dogging and the shimmying and the I just put you to sleep and the mouth guard dangling and all that. And it's part of the entertainment package that is Steph. But the other guy is pure as the driven snow, man. When it comes to, he just plays basketball and he's humble and he says all the right things and he plays hard and he just keeps on keeping on. All I got to say for Steph Curry is every night before he goes to bed, he should get on his knees and thank his lucky stars to have this running mate.
Yes, because a lot of times, Skip, the number 2 guy becomes envious of the number 1 guy.
Absolutely.
And we saw that goes back to biblical times because one brother got envious of the other brother. And although it doesn't get to that point, he said, well, I need to go my own place. I need my own team. I need to be leading my own group, my own band, my own, whatever the case may be, Skip. I need to do my thing.
Klay has never wanted his own that I'm aware of.
No.
Wow.
No.
Blessed, man.
That's me. I'm Klay. You know, I'm cool. I sit right back here. I'll let you be Steph Curry. I'll let you be Steph Curry. I'll let you be Steph Curry.
Somebody's laying it on thick right now.
You know, you Steph Curry. You Steph Curry over there. I'm just a little old Klay. I'm just the best catch and shoot.
Wait, I gotta shimmy over here a little bit. I gotta shimmy.
Yeah, that's all. I'm little Klay. I'm Klay.
Yeah.
I'm the Klay of the TV, debate shows. I'm Klay Thompson.
Feet of Klay over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it's a pretty good ride.
Yeah.
I mean, Skip and Shannon.
You write the music, I sing.
And you know what, guys? Klay is saying he's never been so jacked up to go back and play in Boston ever in his career. So Game 6 might be lit for him. All right, still to come this morning. Skip, we got to talk about your Cowboys. They're trending on social media, but not for their recent successes. That's next on Undisputed.